My parents are demanding I pay for my sister's luxury European honeymoon, or they're boycotting my wedding. Hey Reddit, so I'm Ethan, 30, and I'm about to lose my mind. My family is, well, there's something else. On the surface, perfect American dream, right? But underneath, it's all kinds of messed up. My younger sister, Brianna, is the golden child. Always has been. Gets whatever she wants, me, I'm the responsible one. The one who's supposed to just suck it up. Which brings me to the wedding. Mine. It's supposed to be this happy occasion, but it's turned into a total nightmare. I'm getting married to the most amazing woman, and my family is trying to sabotage it. Think I'm exaggerating? Just wait until you hear what they pulled. It started with a seemingly harmless phone call from my mom. Honey, she said, all sweet and innocent, we were thinking. Wouldn't it be lovely if you could contribute a little to Brianna's honeymoon fund? A little, right. Brianna and her fiancé are planning some insane trip through Europe, think first-class everything, 5-star hotels, the whole 9 yards. So I chuckled, thinking she was joking. Mom, I said, Olivia and I are saving for a down payment. We can't exactly throw money at a European vacation right now. That's when the tone shifted. Suddenly, sweet, innocent mom was gone. Ethan, she said, her voice getting tight, we helped you with college, didn't we? And your first car, it's time you paid it forward. Paid it forward? Are you kidding me? I worked my butt off to pay back every cent of those loans. They helped by co-signing, not by handing me wads of cash. Later that night, my dad called. He didn't even bother with the pleasantries. Your mother and I expect you to cover Brianna's honeymoon, he said, flat out. My stomach dropped. Cover it, Dad, that's tens of thousands of dollars. They need to budget realistically, he scoffed. Don't be ridiculous, son. It's your sister's happiness we're talking about. That's when he dropped the bomb. We consider this a condition of us attending your wedding. I literally felt like I was going to be sick. My hands started shaking, my heart was pounding in my chest. I couldn't breathe. You're blackmailing me, I stammered. He just huffed. Don't be dramatic. Family helps family, you owe us this. OTHEM, I wanted to scream. This wasn't about family, it was about their twisted sense of obligation and their blatant favoritism towards Brianna. Then, as if things couldn't get any worse, Brianna started texting me links to honeymoon packages, little jabs like, this one has a private yacht. Think you can swing it, bro, with a winky face emoji. I wanted to throw my phone across the room. My own sister. I felt completely betrayed, like I was being stabbed in the back by the people who are supposed to love and support me. The world started to tilt, and I had to sit down. This wasn't happening, this couldn't be happening. This was supposed to be my time. My wedding, my future with Olivia, and they were trying to ruin it. I tried to talk to them. I really did. I called them both separately, trying to explain, to reason, to plead. It was like talking to a brick wall, 2 brick walls, made of entitlement and self-righteousness. Mom, I said, my voice shaking, Olivia and I are saving for a house. We can't just drop everything and fund Brianna's trip to Europe. It's not fair to us, and frankly, it's not fair to Brianna and her fiancé. They need to learn to budget. My mom's response, oh, Ethan, you're being so dramatic, it's just a little help. We're family. Little help, little help. This wasn't about helping with groceries, this was about funding a 6-figure vacation. I felt my blood pressure rising. Then my dad chimed in. Your mother's right, son, you're being selfish. We're not asking for the moon, just a little something to help your sister start her married life off right. Something, Dad, it's not a little something, it's our entire savings. I was practically yelling at this point. He sighed dramatically. Ethan, we're disappointed in you. We thought you'd be happier for your sister. This is what families do, they support each other. Support each other by bankrupting one child to spoil another. My head was spinning. I felt like I was losing my mind, and then the kicker. My mom, with this condescending tone, said, well, if you really cared about your sister, you'd find a way. Maybe you could take out a loan, for their honeymoon. I was speechless. Absolutely speechless. I hung up, my hands trembling, my chest ached. I paced back and forth, trying to process what had just happened. This wasn't a normal disagreement. This was insane. This was toxic. This was the moment I realized my family wasn't just dysfunctional, they were delusional. Brianna, of course, chimed in via text with a little wow, seriously, just wow, I can't believe you'd be so selfish. Followed by a crying emoji. I wanted to scream. I sat down heavily on the couch, burying my face in my hands. Olivia came in, saw my face, and immediately knew something was wrong. I told her everything. She just held me, letting me rant and rave and cry. She's my rock. She's the only one who seems to understand. I don't know what to do, Reddit. I'm at my wit's end. They're holding my wedding hostage. They're trying to force me to choose between my future with Olivia and their insane demands. I feel trapped. I feel suffocated. I feel like I'm drowning. Help, a week later. And things have gone nuclear. I thought I'd hit rock bottom, but apparently there's a whole other level of hell reserved for me and my family. First, my Aunt Susan called. Sweet, innocent Aunt Susan. She started with the usual pleasantries, asking about wedding plans, then bam. Ethan, honey, she said, her voice dripping with concern, your mother is beside herself. She told me about the situation with Brianna's honeymoon. You know, you really should reconsider. It's family, dear, family comes first. I tried to explain my side, but she just talked over me, saying things like, your parents have done so much for you, and Brianna deserves this special trip. I finally had to hang up on her, my own aunt taking their side. Then my grandmother called, grandmother. She actually said, and I quote, Ethan, if you don't pay for this honeymoon, you'll be bringing shame on the entire family. Shame. On the entire family. Because I won't bankrupt myself to fund my sister's extravagant vacation. I'm officially the family pariah. But wait, it gets worse. Brianna, in her infinite wisdom, decided to take this public. She posted some cryptic message on Instagram about toxic family members and selfishness ruining special moments. Then her friends started piling on, tagging me in comments like, so disappointing, and family should always come first. Family should always come first. I'm seeing red every time I see that phrase. I'm so furious I can barely type this. This isn't just affecting my mental health anymore, it's impacting my work. I can't focus. I can't sleep. I'm snapping at Olivia, which I feel terrible about. She's been amazing through all of this, but I can see the toll it's taking on her too. This whole thing is a disaster. I'm starting to realize I can't keep trying to reason with them. They're not listening, they don't care, they've made up their minds. I'm the bad guy, the selfish one, the one ruining everything. I need to take action. I don't know what that action is yet, but I can't let them bully me into submission. I can't let them control my life. This has gone too far. I need to protect myself. I need to protect my future with Olivia. I need to draw a line in the sand. This isn't just about the honeymoon anymore. This is about my sanity. This is about my life. I'm done. Done. So I finally broke down and told my best friend Mark everything. It was hard, you know. Felt like airing dirty laundry, admitting my family was this mess. I started hesitantly, kind of downplaying it. My parents are being a little difficult about the wedding, I said, like it was just some minor squabble over flower arrangements. Mark raised an eyebrow. Difficult how? I took a deep breath. Well, they want me to pay for Brianna's honeymoon, like the whole thing, a crazy expensive European trip, he chuckled. Contribute, that's generous of them. No, not contribute, pay for all of it. Or they're not coming to the wedding. Mark's jaw dropped, he stopped laughing. Wait, seriously, they're holding your wedding hostage over a honeymoon, I nodded miserably. Then I told him about the texts, the social media posts, the calls from my aunt and grandmother, the whole 9 yards. By the time I was finished, Mark was staring at me, mouth agape. Dude, he finally said, his voice hushed. That's insane. That's not normal, that's straight-up emotional blackmail. Hearing him say that it wasn't normal, it was like a weight lifted off my chest. I'd been second-guessing myself so much, wondering if I was being selfish, if I was overreacting. But Mark's reaction, it validated everything I'd been feeling. They keep saying it's about family, I said, my voice cracking. That I'm being selfish, that I'm not supporting my sister. Mark shook his head. Ethan, they're twisting the concept of family. Supporting your sister doesn't mean bankrupting yourself. They're manipulating you. They've always treated Brianna like a princess, and they expect you to just foot the bill. It's not right. Then he said something that really hit me. They're prioritizing her happiness over yours, over your future with Olivia. Think about that. They're willing to miss your wedding, a once-in-a-lifetime event, because you won't fund a luxury vacation. That's when it clicked, really clicked. It wasn't about me being selfish. It was about them being controlling and entitled. They were using my love for them, my desire for their approval as leverage, and it was wrong. You need to stand your ground, man, Mark said, his voice firm. This isn't about the money anymore. This is about your self-respect, about setting boundaries. You deserve to be happy. You and Olivia deserve to start your lives together without this toxic baggage. I felt this surge of anger, but also this weird sense of relief, like I'd finally woken up from a bad dream. Mark was right. I couldn't let them control me anymore. I had to protect myself. I had to protect my future. Talking to Mark, it was a turning point. He helped me see the situation for what it truly was, manipulation. And he gave me the strength to finally say enough. I'm done. I'm done. It was a Tuesday. A perfectly ordinary, overcast Tuesday, the kind where you just want to get through the day and collapse on the couch. I was at work trying to focus on a presentation when I got the email. The subject line, regarding the wedding. My stomach clenched. I just knew this wasn't going to be good. I opened it, and the words blurred on the screen. It was formatted like a business letter, from my parents, about my wedding. I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. The gist of it, they weren't coming, unless I paid for Brianna's honeymoon. They actually wrote, "We have decided that we cannot, in good conscience, attend your wedding unless you fulfill your familial obligation and provide for Brianna's honeymoon as we discussed." Familial obligation. Provide FOR. Those words, they were like daggers to the heart. They went on to say how disappointed they were in my selfishness and how I was damaging family unity. They even had the gall to write, "We hope you will reconsider your position and make the right decision for the sake of your family." The right decision, like paying for a six-figure vacation, is some kind of moral imperative. I felt a physical jolt, like I'd been punched in the gut. The air left my lungs. My hands started shaking so badly I could barely hold onto the mouse. I had to stand up and walk away from my desk. I felt dizzy, disoriented. The world swam around me. This email, this ransom note, it was the final straw, the absolute breaking point. All the doubt, all the guilt I'd been wrestling with, it vanished, evaporated, like it had never been there. In that moment, something inside me snapped. I wasn't just hurt anymore. I wasn't just confused. I was enraged. A cold, hard fury settled in my chest. I felt this surge of power, this sense of clarity I hadn't felt before. It was like a switch flipped in my brain. I was done being the victim, done being the responsible one, done being the one who always sucks it up. I went back to my desk, my hands still trembling but now with a sense of purpose. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and typed out a response. Short, to the point. No apologies, no explanations. Just, "I understand your decision. I will be proceeding with the wedding without you. I wish you well." Hit send, that was it, I was done. I was going to marry the woman I loved, surrounded by the people who truly cared about me. My family could stay home with their twisted sense of entitlement and their spoiled princess. I was finally free. Okay, Reddit, after that nuclear email, I knew I had to get my ducks in a row. This wasn't just about feelings anymore. This was war, and I wasn't going down without a fight. First, I needed a solid support system. Olivia was my rock, obviously, but I also reached out to Mark, my best friend, explained the whole ransom note situation. He was livid, offered to be my best man and my emotional punching bag. Win-win. Then I started gathering evidence. I know, sounds dramatic, but hear me out. I printed out every email, every text message, every social media post, all of it. I even started keeping a detailed log of every interaction with my family, noting dates, times, and specific quotes. Documentation is key, people. You never know when you'll need it. I also started looking into therapists. I knew this whole mess was taking a toll on my mental health, and I needed professional help to process it all. Finding a good therapist was huge. It's like having a coach in your corner, someone who can help you navigate this crazy emotional battlefield. My strategy was simple: disengage. I wasn't going to argue with them anymore. I wasn't going to try to reason with them. I was done explaining myself. They weren't listening, so what was the point? Silence is golden, especially when dealing with narcissists. I also knew I needed to prepare for the fallout. There would be gossip, drama, accusations. I mentally prepared myself for the worst. I visualized every possible scenario, every nasty comment, every attempt at manipulation. I even practiced my responses in the mirror, keeping my tone calm and firm. "I understand your decision," I'd say, "but this is my wedding, and I will not be bullied." Practice makes perfect. I was ready for anything. Finally, I focused on the positive. I poured all my energy into planning the wedding, making sure it was everything Olivia and I had dreamed of. I surrounded myself with supportive friends and family members who actually, cared about us. I reminded myself that this day was about our love, our commitment, our future. And no one, not even my crazy family, was going to ruin it. So yeah, Reddit, that was my battle plan. A mix of practical preparation, emotional fortitude, and a healthy dose of righteous anger. I was ready to face the music. I was ready to take back my life. I was ready to get married. The morning of the wedding arrived, crisp and bright, a stark contrast to the storm raging inside me. I sent a simple text to my parents. Wedding starts at 11, wish you were here. No pleading, no explanation, just a statement of fact. And then I put my phone away and focused on getting ready. The ceremony was beautiful. Olivia looked radiant, absolutely breathtaking. Seeing her walk down the aisle towards me, towards our future, it was like everything else faded away. The drama, the hurt, the anger, it all disappeared. In that moment, it was just us. Two people in love starting a new chapter together. But the elephant in the room was still there. The empty seats in the front row. My parents' absence was a palpable void, a constant reminder of their betrayal. During the reception, as I was making my speech, I acknowledged it. I want to thank everyone for being here today, I began, my voice slightly trembling. It means the world to Olivia and me to have your love and support. I paused, taking a deep breath. I also want to acknowledge the absence of some family members. Their presence would have been cherished, but their love is a gift that they alone decide to give. And I will not feel guilty for choosing to create a happy life, regardless of their choices. There was a ripple of murmurs through the crowd, some gasps, some nods of understanding. Olivia squeezed my hand, her eyes shining with pride. Later, during the dancing, my Aunt Susan approached me, her face a mask of disapproval. Ethan, she began, her voice low and accusatory, your parents are heartbroken, you've shamed them. I met her gaze, my voice steady. Aunt Susan, they chose not to be here, they made their priorities clear, I'm not responsible for their feelings. She sputtered, but family is everything. Family, I said, my voice rising slightly, is not a weapon you use to manipulate and control people. Family is about love and support, not ultimatums and ransom notes. She looked stunned, speechless. The power dynamic, the one that had been so skewed for so long, had shifted. I wasn't the scared, guilt-ridden kid anymore. I was a man standing up for himself, for his wife, for his future. A few weeks after the wedding, my mom called. She sounded subdued, almost apologetic. Ethan, she said hesitantly, we made a mistake. We shouldn't have pressured you about Brianna's honeymoon, we were wrong. I listened, not interrupting. It was the first time I'd ever heard her admit being wrong, ever. We missed your wedding, she continued, her voice cracking. And we regret that more than you know. I took a deep breath. I appreciate you saying that, Mom, but words are just words. Actions speak louder. There was a long silence. Then she said, I know. We know, we hope we can earn back your trust. It will take time, but we're willing to try. I didn't know what the future held. I didn't know if things would ever truly be okay with my family, but in that moment I felt a flicker of hope. A tiny ember of possibility. Maybe, just maybe, we could start to rebuild. But on my terms, with healthy boundaries, with mutual respect. And that Reddit is where I'm at now. It's a long road ahead, but I'm finally on the right path. I'm finally free. It's been 6 months since the wedding, and wow, what a roller coaster. The immediate aftermath was awkward. Lots of whispered conversations, side-eye from extended family, the whole 9 yards. Brianna and her husband went on their lavish European honeymoon, courtesy of my parents, who are now apparently broke, go figure, and posted endless Instagram stories about it, which was a special kind of torture. I muted her, needed to protect my mental health. As for the resolution, well, it's complicated. My parents eventually apologized, admitted they were wrong, the whole shebang. It felt hollow, honestly. Like they were sorry they got caught, not sorry they hurt me. But I acknowledged their apology, told them I needed time, space, and a lot of therapy before I could even consider moving forward. There have been some positive developments. Olivia and I are thriving. Bought our dream house, no thanks to my parents' help. We're building a life together, based on mutual respect and shared goals, and it's amazing. I've also grown closer to Mark, my best friend. He was my rock through this whole ordeal. True friendship is priceless. But there are still ongoing challenges. My relationship with Brianna is strained, to say the least. We barely speak. She still sees me as the villain, which is frustrating, but I've accepted that I can't control her narrative. I'm only responsible for my own actions. As for my parents, we're slowly rebuilding, but it's a work in progress. I've set clear boundaries, no more financial demands, no more emotional manipulation, and they seem to be respecting them for now. But there's still a lot of hurt, a lot of resentment. I'm in therapy working through it all, and it's helping. I've learned that healing takes time. The biggest lesson I've learned through all of this: set boundaries, protect your peace. Your mental health is everything. Don't let anyone, not even family, manipulate or control you. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live your life on your own terms, and that's what I'm finally doing. So, Reddit, has anyone else dealt with crazy family drama surrounding their wedding? How did you handle it? Any advice for navigating these tricky family dynamics? I could use all the wisdom I can get.